So what do Saul Leiter, William Klein and Dora Marr have in common? The answer doesn't lie in their photography, but actually outside of it. All three of these literary photographers were artists and they had creative pursuits outside photography. Now, why is that important? It's important because their whole creative approach wasn't just fueled by photography. It was fueled by a whole world of colour, form and composition. And they took the lessons they've learned outside of photography and brought it in to photography. So in this video, I'm going to show you 3 artist techniques that you can use for film photography and hopefully create some great work for yourself. Consume like an artist. In an age of algorithms, it's never been easier to consume photography, but what happens quite quickly is we fall into the same patterns of consumption and we start seeing things the algorithm thinks we like based on what we've liked before. Now, what do you mean consume like an artist? I mean, you don't need to find all your inspiration in one place. The world is your oyster. Absolutely anything and everything can be your source for inspiration for your next photo. For example, let's take a look at Jean-Michel Basquiat. A lot of his inspiration and source material didn't come from other paintings, but came from the iconography of ancient history. He absorbed this information and combined it with his lived experience, and the results of which created will be remembered for generations. Here's evidence of that famous Picasso quote, "Good art is copy, great art is steal." He was never trying to copy these civilizations, but instead he learned the information, he understood it, and he made it his own. So how can I get started? To get started with this, you have to be curious. Visit museums, galleries, visit new places, listen to music, watch films and documentaries. Try and learn a new creative skill. Try and experience new things as much as you can, and sooner or later, when you least expect it, when you're out taking photos, you will start to approach it with these new things that you've learned, because that new information is just bubbled up from your subconscious. You might see a Renaissance painting in a street scene, or a landscape that reminds you of a song. So now you have the inspiration, but how do you use it? You have to create like an artist. When you're exploring the theory of photography, you might just want to take the blue pill. You might want to just use the rule of thirds and wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. Or you can take the red pill. Stay in Wonderland and see how far the rabbit hole goes. Every aspect of art theory can be applied to photography, design and painting, and oftentimes building up an understanding in one subject can help you adapt it to another one quite easily. Saul Leiter had a mastery of colour and he could layer up a frame to nearly total abstraction. His foundation in painting sort of led him to this, and it bled through into his photography. Don't be afraid to learn from the classics. Renaissance painters such as Carravaggio were almost like street photographers before there were cameras, being able to arrange complex compositions and using things like the golden ratio to draw the eye into the picture. To help you learn, choose your favourite photographer, painter or director and pick an image and start to analyse what's happening. Are there leading lines? Does the overall colour palette complement itself? What does the emotions that it evokes? Is there depth to the image or is it flat? Is it lopsided or is it balanced? Once you've learned the basic ideas of colour, contrast, composition and texture, you can start to break the rules. And that takes us to the next point. Play like an artist. So now you're inspired and you now know how to use that inspiration. But you've got a problem. You want to stick to these new rules and you're worried if things don't turn out perfectly, then the work won't have any meaning. Well, this is the thing. This fear is restricting your creativity. When a child paints, they paint with freedom. They're not worried that their painting doesn't look like the Mona Lisa. They are present in the moment and are creating whatever their imagination has come up with. Try new methods out. If you combine the willingness to experiment with the previous acquired knowledge, then that's when things get interesting. You have to learn the rules to know how to break them. When you want to capture motion, you automatically think high shutter speed and a perfect moment in time, but Ernest Haas did the opposite and created images that could be mistaken for paintings. If you experiment and you don't like the results, you then learn what works and what works for you as a creative, and then you grow and then you find your own personal language. What's most important is just sort of having fun, just exploring new ideas. Don't get too bogged down in obsessing over the rules. A little bit of knowledge does go a long way, so just find something you like and just take inspiration from it, really. That's all part of the fun. That's all why we do photography. We find it fun. If you've still got that first knowledge, and you want to learn more about the Sunny 16 rule, I have my last video where I myself learned the Sunny 16 rule over a short trip that I took to Bristol and Bath. It had its ups and its downs with photography, but I think learning that rule really actually helped me take my photography to the next step. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also check out the print shop if you want some prints, and I'll catch you in the next one.